Morning in the garden always begins with its own gentle orchestra. Birds chirping softly from the bamboo fence. A light breeze brushing across the soil, still cool with dawn dew. And that familiar, earthy scent rising from the ground. The kind of scent that makes anyone who loves gardening feel instantly at peace. Today, I woke up a little earlier than usual. It's a special morning because the plan to start a new round of sowing has been waiting for days. The soil has already been loosened and enriched with compost and rice husk ash, bed for young seedlings to grow strong. I begin with sowing green broccoli and white cauliflower. These two always make me excited. They're hardy, they grow generously, and when they mature, they look almost artistic, broad leaves spreading like small umbrellas, protecting the round heads tucked beneath. I sow them in neat rows, careful and steady. Then I take the watering can and mist the soil so lightly that the droplets lie on the surface like tiny pearls before slowly seeping in. Next comes tomato seeds. They sit lightly in my palm, tiny enough that even a soft breeze could carry them away. I scatter them gently along the prepared rows, then cover them with a thin layer of soil. Every time I press a seed into the ground, I feel as though I'm tucking in a little wish. Grow well, little one. As the first warm rays of sunlight peek over the treetops, I move on to planting Vietnamese sour-leaf romi. It's a plant not everyone knows, but it's wonderful in soups and pairs beautifully with braised fish. Romi grows quickly as long as the soil is moist and breathable. I settle each little plant into place, pressing the soil gently around the base to help them stand tall. By the time I finish the last row, the sun has risen higher, its rays filtering through the foliage and filling the garden with a gentle golden shimmer. I pause for a moment, looking at the fresh rows of soil where new life now sleeps beneath the surface. It's such a quiet happiness, so today, and wait for tomorrow's green. While working, I notice a few tomatoes left over from the last season, glowing orange-red among leaves that have already begun to fade. Late-season tomatoes are always a pleasant surprise. Smaller, perhaps, but incredibly sweet and full of flavor. I pick them one by one, feeling the firm, smooth skin warm under my fingertips. Holding a small basket full of these late survivors feels like stumbling upon a hidden gift. Today's lunch will include red tilapia with tomato sauce, and these garden tomatoes will make the dish even richer. The morning ends with a calm, contented feeling, the sense that I've nourished the garden, and soon, it will nourish me back. Each day follows a gentle rhythm: sow, tend, harvest, and start again. And as long as I can hear the earth breathing beneath my feet, and watch new life unfold, leaf by leaf, mornings like this will always feel like a gift. Leaving the garden behind, I head into the kitchen to prepare 2 dishes for lunch. Simple, homely, but full of warmth and flavor. The first dish is red tilapia in tomato sauce. We call Vuon isbet kachua. The fish is fresh, firm, and slightly sweet, cleaned and scored so the seasonings can seep in. I pan fry it just until each side turns slightly golden. The aroma rises quickly, that familiar smell of fish touching hot oil, the kind that instantly reminds you of meals cooked with care. I slice the tomatoes from the garden and drop them into a pan of fragrant sautéed shallots. Within minutes, they collapse into a glossy, bright red sauce. I season with a bit of salt and sugar, letting the tomatoes release their natural sweetness. Then the fried tilapia goes in, resting gently in the bubbling sauce. I tilt the pan occasionally so the sauce coats every inch of the fish. A sprinkle of green onions and freshly cracked pepper completes its perfume. With everything ready, I place it on the table. A simple dish, but full of freshness from the garden and warmth from the stove. Through the window, the garden still glows under the soft noon light. Beneath the soil, the seeds I planted just hours ago rest quietly, preparing to break through in a few days with tiny green shoots. The second dish is sour bamboo shoot soup with stingray. I bring a pot of water to a boil with a few slices of ginger to neutralize any fishy scent. The bamboo shoots, cleaned and lightly squeezed, go in first, releasing their tangy aroma. When the water returns to a boil, I add the stingray pieces, tender, slightly chewy, and wonderfully sweet when cooked. A dash of fish sauce, a touch of chili, and finally a handful of fragrant herbs, dill and green onions, transform the pot into a refreshing, aromatic soup. The smells of the kitchen start to mingle. The rich tomato sauce, the tangy bamboo shoot broth, blending with the memory of the morning sunlight and the cool scent of the garden. These are the small, quiet moments that make a home feel alive. How is your day going? I hope it's a great day. Subscribe to my channel to stay tuned for my next videos. It's time for lunch now. Enjoy your meal.